So we got Daniel Outlaw, the mayor.
Okay, it's a little bit after 6:15 minutes. We're running a little bit late. We'd like to begin. My name is Robert King. I'm the Senior Public Safety Advisor for Mayor Wheeler. If we could ask everybody to have a seat, and we'll begin. It'll take a minute for everybody to make their way to a place to sit down. I want to begin by welcoming Pastor Matt to the stage. He's graciously hosted this evening's event, and we just wanted to give him a chance to say a few words. Pastor?
Well, welcome to Central. It's a pleasure to host this conversation tonight and to be a part of the community. Over the last several years, we have been trying really hard to be intentional in how we engage our community, how we love our neighbor, and so we've just been trying to be a part of the community. I believe that God has created us for relationship and for community, and so we are here to help build and foster that kind of community, a good and loving and caring community. And so I'm just thrilled to have you all here tonight so that we can just have that conversation and talk about what having a loving and safe community might look like, and what are some steps that we can take to get there, and how we can all be a part of that. So I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here, and welcome.
One of the Lents Neighborhood Association folks, Sabina, who helped organize tonight's event. Sabina, are you here? Can you come up? Love for you to say a word.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I wanted to start by reading a land acknowledgement. We want to respectfully acknowledge that the land that we are on are the traditional homes to the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, bands of Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Molalla, and many other tribes. We are grateful for their stewardship and relationship with the land, water, and wildlife long before we arrived here as guests. And I also wanted to thank all the bureaus and agencies and folks who showed up on very short notice tonight. Portland Water Bureau, thank you Anna and Corbett. The Oregon Department of Transportation, thank you to Tiana. Civic Life, thank you for bringing your team, Stacy, Daniel, Steve, Sandra, and Mary. The Office of Youth Violence Prevention, Tom. Bureau of Emergency Communications, Bob and Chelsea. The Winter Bike Skillshare, Mike. The Bureau of Emergency Management, Devon. Thank you to also our Public Safety Chair, Robert Schultz. I want to thank all the volunteers who are here to make this possible, the seen and unseen ones, all the ones that are holding it down for us at home so that the rest of us can be here, and everyone else who showed up just because they care about their community. I think it's important to recognize the power dynamic of some of the people who joined us tonight who get paid to do this, whereas the rest of us who have come simply because we care. The Neighborhood Association's motivation for being a part of this event was to try to raise awareness about all the aspects of public or community safety, not just crime, and to bring all these other bureaus and organizations to the table and have a larger conversation and a holistic, coordinated approach about what it means to keep everyone safe in our community. We want to recognize that when we talk about community safety, we should talk about the safety of housed people, but also unhoused people, homeowners, renters, people living on the street or in their cars, people who have a physical address or no address at all, people who have IDs, don't have IDs, people who maybe don't speak English, people of all ages, including the youth, and vulnerable people, and people of color who often don't feel safe around the police. Everyone's safety matters tonight and every night in Lents, and hopefully now that all of us here are in the same room together, we will have a better idea of who to call next time we need help, whether it's someone from the city or maybe one of your neighbors. Thank you for being here.
I want to do a quick review of the ground rules for everybody. So the plan this evening is obviously we have panelists here tonight with us. I'm going to have them introduce themselves here in just a moment, but part of it is going to be them presenting you with some information from the different positions that they hold, the different roles that they have in the city and in the Bureau. And and then we're going to have question and answer. And Pastor Matt and I will have microphones, and we're going to be out gathering the questions from you. So just a quick note on ground rules. Take space, make space. Be aware of how much or how little you speak. If you're speaking more than others, make space for others to share. If you're not speaking much, encourage yourself to share. It's okay to disagree. Challenge ideas, but not people personally. Tonight is not, events like this are not a debate. We're here to provide you with information, but we're also here to have a conversation because we want to hear directly from you what your thoughts are, what your concerns are, and how we can collaborate and work better together. One speaker at a time. As I said, the pastor and I will have the microphones, and we'll make our way out to everybody in the audience so that everybody that's here tonight will have an opportunity to ask a question or make a point. No name calling, stereotyping, or making assumptions about other people. Talk about everyone with respect and dignity. Respect each other. It says on here, especially your facilitator. So I don't know why that's on there, but anyway, facilitators. And but engage in active listening. Be here tonight and just really hear what it is that's being said. We're coming tonight with information, solutions, a resource. You have your city and county representatives here tonight who serve you and who want to be helpful and want to be responsive to you in your neighborhoods around the concerns that you have about your home, your family, your business. Tonight, we ask that you offer solutions. What does success look like? Offer it through that perspective and through that lens. There's a lot about the conversation we're going to have tonight that can be frustrating, but you have people that are here that are doing the job every day on your behalf, and we want to know how we can better serve you, and that comes with you helping us by offering some solutions. We'll have solutions we're going to share with you, but we'd like to hear from you as well. Stick to the topic on the table. The topic is a broad one. It's really crime, safety, livability for East Portland, Lents in particular. And we all here tonight share responsibility for making this work. And with that, I'd like to start by doing an introduction of everybody that's on the stage.
Art Nakamura, I'm commander of the Tactical Operations Division, and one of the units I oversee is the Gun Violence Response Team.
My name is Jeremy Price. I'm a lieutenant at East Precinct Day Shift, and I'm the acting commander currently at East Precinct.
Ted Wheeler, Mayor of City of Portland.
Good evening, I'm Danielle Outlaw, Chief of Police.
Good evening, Jeff Bell, and I work for the Portland Police Bureau, and I'm the commander of the Detective Division.
Hello, I'm Tom Peavy. I'm the interim director for the Mayor's Office of Youth Violence Prevention.
Thank you all for that. I also want to welcome Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, who's here in the audience. Thank you very much for coming tonight, Commissioner. And I just would like everybody who's here just to take a look around, and what you'll see is tonight you've got representatives from all across the city, from fire, from police, from water, from Department of Transportation, from Civic Life. Jonathan Lewis is in the back from One Point of Contact. Bob Causey and his team are here from 911. Bike Share and other folks are here. Mike from PBAM is here. Mike Meyer, the director of PBAM. City resources are here tonight to be in support of you and your families. And so with that, I am going to turn it over at this time to our mayor, Mayor Ted Wheeler.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you very much for having us here. And Pastor Matt, thank you for sharing your parish facility with all of us tonight. Sabina, thank you for having the suggestion that we come and address some very specific issues. First of all, obviously, as you can tell by the crowd in the room, there's a lot of people here who are here to express a lot of concerns. There's also a lot of people from the city of Portland and other jurisdictions that are interested in helping to address those concerns. I've said it before, and I'll say it again tonight, that East Portland is the heart and the center of this city. And this is not my first time, obviously, in Lents. I've been here several times. The most memorable time that I came to Lents was actually right after I took office. And I came here, I heard your concerns, and I believe there's been a significant amount of work that's been done since that time that I first heard your concerns as mayor. And there's work yet to be done. And the many representatives of many bureaus here tonight are helped here to talk a little bit about what has been done and also where we think we need more partnership, where we need to frankly do a better job. And we want to hear what you have to say as well. First of all, let me just state an obvious value. Everybody in this community, everybody, deserves to feel safe and to be safe. And collectively, it's our job in local government to make sure that that happens. It's also our job to make sure that you have a clean community, a livable community, as well as a safe and prosperous community. And those are our broad objectives. As you can see, there's a lot of representatives. We've already heard from Robert. We've already heard from some other folks about the representatives here. But as you heard, we have people from East Precinct, the Detective Division, GVR Team, Gun Violence Reduction Team, the Office of Youth Violence Prevention, all here tonight. And we also, because I assume that this conversation, based on some of my preliminary conversations with some of you here, is going to expand into some other livability issues. We also have people from the One Point of Contact here. They deal with issues related to homelessness and homeless camps. We also have some people here who do livability work. One contextual point that I want to make is that we're all, as people who live in this city, concerned about some of the things that we've seen going on. This summer, we had some gun violence. We had some homicides here in the Lents community. I heard from many of you. I heard expressions of severe concern and anxiety, and those fears are completely justified. And we want to talk about those and address those issues here today. In terms of some of the work that's been done, obviously in the last budget process, we continue to strengthen and support the Gun Violence Reduction Team. I'll let them speak for themselves about the work they've been doing. There's been a lot of talk about police officers and whether or not we have adequate policing presence in our communities. I fought hard during the last budget process in 2017 to actually increase the number of officers on the street. I secured funding from my colleagues on the City Council. We are in the process of recruiting new officers. We have people who are already going through the training process, and it continues to be a top priority for me to make sure that we have adequate police presence in our community. We also worked very hard to clean up ODOT properties. We worked hard with our state partners in ODOT. We got some legislation passed during the last long legislation that allowed us to enter into a memorandum of understanding with ODOT so that the city and ODOT could work on maintaining and keeping those right-of-ways clean and accessible. And I continue to be a strong proponent of addressing the homelessness crisis. Now, some of you may want to talk about that in a nutshell. When I took office, we were cleaning, I think it was about 44 campsites per week. Those were campsites that were identified as being specifically public safety, public health, or environmental hazards. I believe in the last quarter we cleaned something like 800 of those camps that were prioritized as public health, public safety, or environmental hazards. So we've obviously increased that function. We do it in a compassionate way, and we do it in a way where we send out social service providers first to try and get people off the streets and out of the elements and into housing and connect them with whatever services they need. And for some, it's mental health services, others it's addiction treatment, others it's job services, whatever it takes to help get people off the street. We've increased the number of shelters. We've opened 3 new ones. We just opened 2 new navigation centers, which connect people to services, again, with the purpose of getting them off the street and helping keep them off the street. We worked very hard to create navigation teams that go out into the community. So if people don't want to come to a shelter, we go to them. We go where they are in the community and work with them to build trust, and with the end goal being of connecting people to the services they need to get off and stay off the streets. Last year, about 7,500 families received some form of homeless prevention services, so think rent support and the like, to keep those who are the most likely to go into homeless off the streets. And we moved about 6,000 people either off the streets or out of shelter into housing. And those are just some of the things we're doing. I'm working with Commissioner Hardesty on a new approach to addressing crises on our streets. I think we can all acknowledge that we have an addiction issue in this community. I think we can all acknowledge that there's a mental health situation in this community that aren't being addressed as effectively as they could. And too often, it's the police who are asked to respond to people in crisis. They don't believe they are necessarily the best people in all circumstances to address people in crisis. And those who are advocates and supporters of those on the streets who are in crisis don't necessarily think a police officer is necessarily the right person to be that first responder. So Commissioner Hardesty and I and others are working on something called the Portland Street Response, which will connect those in crisis on the streets with mental health providers or other social service providers who are specifically trained in crisis management. And the police would only be there if it is truly a public safety related situation. Be